All right, so that's something to keep an eye on. Something else to keep an eye on. I mentioned Bill Belichick. Let's go to old Foxborough here and talk about Malik Cunningham, quarterback out of Louisville. We saw him at the Senior Bowl, and he had some ups and had some downs, and that sort of defines his career as a quarterback. But he might be changing positions. So he was catching passes with the wide receivers at Patriots OTAs this week. And let me ask you this, and this isn't uncommon for the Patriots, for example. Julian Edelman was a quarterback coming out, and he had a really good career in New England, won Super Bowls playing wide receiver. How do these decisions get made? Do they get made in the lead up to the draft? Do they get made on these conversations we're having when you're signing these free agents on at the end of day 3? Or is it conversations you're having between the end of the draft and now about moving these guys around?
No, it's all starts pre-draft. And the one thing that you want to make sure is that if we sign this player or draft this player, and he is like, we'll take that example, Malik is a quarterback, is he willing to move to try to be another position, a receiver? And if they say no, then that's an issue. That could be a potential issue because you don't want to draft him then if he's absolutely sold on just playing quarterback. But Malik is a very good athlete. We know him, as a quarterback, and I think you had a little bit of love for him during the pre-draft process.
Yep.
But if that's a way for him to make the 53, and potentially he can be your quarterback that runs show team during a week too. So he can do multiple things. If they think he's that good of an athlete with the speed that he has, that can help their football team, but the player has to be willing to make that change as well, or else it probably won't work.
So would you
But
bring
that's
that
all
up?
done pre-draft.
Would you bring that up then at, say, a combine interview with Malik? You said, hey, we want you to play
Oh
quarterback.
yeah,
What do you,
no, you're definitely having these conversations.
and what if
Or
he says to you, no, I'm a quarterback?
well, those are the things on maybe you sell them on a vision that you have.
Okay.
Maybe you're bringing him up on the top 30, and why, explaining why you see him, and hey, we could still develop you potentially as a quarterback, but for you, the best chance to make this roster
Right.
is to be able to do multiple things. So those are a lot of conversations that you have pre-draft before you make a move like this.
And
So
is this
you don't draft or take a quarterback and first day of practice, you throw him out of receiver, you're going to have some issues.
hey, by the way.
Yeah.
So is this a little a bug you plant in the ear of the agent too back in February? You talk to
Oh
him
yeah,
every once
no, you talk to the player and you talk to the agent on what you're thinking and what your plan is,
right.
and how you think that it's the best interest for him, that if we invest in this player to help not only make our team but potentially help our team win games down the road.
Well, let me ask you about
Well, who was the little corner that they took last year, the returner? They
Marcus
actually,
Jones out of Houston,
yeah, and
my
then what they
favorite
did,
player.
throw him a quick screen pass, and
Whew.
next thing you know, he's 90 yards down the field.
And he actually played some wide receiver at Houston as well, but he was primarily a defensive back and a smallish one, 5'8" maybe. But
Yeah.
I love this game. All right, I'm going to give you a quarterback that you drafted out of UAB who did not play quarterback in the NFL primarily.
UAB. We
First
drafted
name,
him.
Played a little quarterback.
little
Yeah.
quarterback, but primarily
Ruined my Christmas in 2010.
yeah.
He was what?
He said he ruined my Christmas time during 2010
He must have beaten
season.
the Vikings in 2010.
Oh,
Joe Webb.
Joe
Yeah,
Webb.
you got it.
Yeah.
So was there a conversation? So go through the conversations, I guess, is the question about what your plans were for him.
Mainly as a quarterback. We did use him some on special teams, and again, another great athlete.
Yeah.
Joe had the best line that I've ever heard someone going into a preseason game at quarterback. He was like, because I was down on the sideline. It was like fourth quarter. He was going in his rookie year. He looks at me and he goes, I don't know what's going to happen, but there's something going to happen. I can't predict if it's good or bad, but there's some crap that's going to happen when I get out there. So he said, buckle up.
So you brought him in as a quarterback. Is that what you said?
Yes.
So you drafted him as a quarterback. At what point did you decide during the evaluation process, during the first, second year, whatever, that let's see what else he can do?
Yeah, no, just because he was such a great kid and such a great athlete. We wanted to try to move him around at multiple positions, but we had him at quarterback. In fact, he played some quarterback for us and did was it Debo? I'm trying to go way back in my Rolodex. Did he win a game or two for us at quarterback?
He did beat the Eagles. It was a remember the game that got switched to like a Tuesday because of
Tuesday
the weather?
because of the snowstorm. Yeah, we were stuck in a Ritz-Carlton downtown Philly
Oh, stuck.
3 days. I ate so many Philly cheesesteaks, I couldn't even walk by the time we got to the game. It
So
was
wait,
the Eagles actually, Andy Reid was there at the time, actually let us come over and do some walkthroughs and have a practice because we were delayed. There was nowhere to go because of the snowstorm. So they gave us the indoor practice bubble to go over
yeah,
there, which
look at
was
that.
very nice.
Blew up in his face. He shouldn't have done it because he lost.
Yeah, well, that wasn't Philly like to extend a hand out, is it, Debo?
City of brotherly love, Rick. The Eagles were 2 touchdown favorites in that game,
Wow.
and the Vikings won 24-14.
2010. Who was the Eagles quarterback then, Devo?
Would have been Vic.
It was Vic. Okay. 2 touchdown favorites. Way to go, Rick. Huge victory.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to mention one more thing and then we'll get out of here. We're running real long here. Does it mean anything in Debo's astute eye? Noticed this in the Malik Cunningham clip from OTAs where he was running routes. He's wearing number 64. Is that a concern?
No, that's the way Coach Belichick does it. I think the rookies have to earn their number before they just throw numbers on them.
You're exactly right. You got the because Kayshon Boudy's wearing number 58, and I checked really quickly. Mac Jones is wearing number 50 his rookie season during OTAs. Yep. So you're right. He just throws numbers on him. Anywhere else, though, the 64 might be a concern if you're trying to make it as a wide receiver, I think.
I don't think there's been a number 64 that actually has ever done anything in the NFL wide receiver or any other level. Maybe Little League.
Jeff Harding's number 64 for the Steelers after he left Detroit. He won a Super Bowl. But other than that, that's the only 64 that comes to mind. Do you have a favorite 64, Rick?
No.
What number are you wearing back there? 94?
94. That's a picture of me and my brother in training camp together.
What number is your brother?
That's he's 54.
Okay.
It's one of the only things that survived the hurricane.
Oh, great. That's good.
How about the Stashers?
Oh my gosh. As Pete calls it, 2 meatheads.
How about the neck? I was about 245 back then.
245.
Rick, can you take a picture and send that to me?
just for personal use. Were you 6'2"? 6'2", 245?
I was about 6'1".
6'1", 245. Debo, do you know what Rick's 40 time was back then? Have you heard this story?
Sub 4.6 or 4.6.
Yeah,
4.6 flat.
4.64.
4.64. Look at this guy. Burner.
Not a 6'4". What Vikings legend wore number 64?
Oh boy, Ron Yuri.
Oh,
a Hall of Famer.
Mitch Tingelhoff.
Nope.
Randall the guard. Randall McDaniel.
There we go.
nice. Look at this guy.